Oh, what? Look, we're in there twice and one's muted. Weird. Mike.
How about
Check, check.
now? Oh
You
boy.
guys missed my cool
Oh
intro.
boy, you missed our cool intros.
Dang it.
I kind of had a weird feeling we didn't have sound, but
You just
do we
ignored
still
it.
have sound?
Can't hear you. No sound.
Better now? Better not. I think we're good now. Anyway, what I was trying to say there.
I see a thumbs up.
Sweet. Thanks, Joey.
Wait, let me do it again. Hey there, all you cool cats and kittens.
Carol Baskin killed her husband and whacked him.
That zoo is, it's no more. It's shut down.
Joe's zoo is gone, huh?
Yep.
So anyway, if you clicked this, I apologize for all that kind of garbage. But 2 times in my life, I've proved that I have to be completely abstinent from drugs and alcohol because I can't control it. And that's what we're going to get into tonight. In the early 2000s, I was a meth addict. Later in my life, I became a raging fit the night, blackout drunk, had to check into detox, had to go to IOPs and rehabs. I'm still doing rehab programs. And I'm going to be doing this kind of stuff the rest of my life because if I slip back into my old ways, I've already been to jail. I've already been to institutions. The next thing on my list is death. I may have another relapse in me, but do I have another recovery? That is the question. So I don't think I do. And I'll just not even try to go down that road and prove and tempt it. But I want to try something tonight because I'm trying to get different camera angles going. So I'm going to pop this up just to see what it looks like. And oh, look at that. We got another view over here. So I could pop this in over here like so and listen to Felice when she starts talking. But the camera's focused all funny. That's just kind of weird.
I like it.
But I think it'll work if I, because I'm trying to, that I'm doing the podcast for SOAR, School of Addiction Recovery here at SOAR in Ogden, Utah. And I want to set it up to where I can have multiple cameras and just, obviously it's going to look better than that garbage I just showed you. But
I liked it.
That's going to be our thing tonight. And tonight we're going to talk about abstinence from alcohol. We're going to read from our 24-hour a day. We're going to jump into Discord. I asked the question today, what does abstinence mean to you? And a lot of you have responded, and I appreciate that. I thank you so much for jumping in the Discord and making the content that much better here on Recovering Addict. And then we're going to talk about abstinence. And then if we get time, we're going to hit honesty, because honesty is the number one key to recovery. If you're not honest, you fail. So I'm going to let Felice say hi to everybody, and then we're going to jump right in.
I love saying hi. Teeter does not like sideways. Hi.
Champ Burns, what's up, brother?
What up, Joe man? We got a Twitcher.
A Twitcher?
Twitchy.
Oh, what's
Twitcher,
up, Joe Mama? Joe Mama 821.
Let's see. I'm going to start at the top. Because we got Antoine with the win. Whoop, 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 whoop. Share Squad. Desmond with his coffee and donuts. As always, I'm a little bit jealous. Amanda Miller. Hello, everyone. Never stop dreaming. I like ye. Oh, Merc. Hello, Merc. Glad you're here.
Mercalicious in the house.
I saw that Miss Nicole
got her bookmark.
Got her bookmark today.
Yeah, that was cool.
Super excited.
Yeah, I'm glad you got that, Nicole. That was so cool.
And the one and only Lish.
Alicia, what's up?
Hey, Teeter.
Mr. Teeter, doing good.
When you
hard-working man. He already did.
You started already? How's
he
it going?
Went in there and Gordon Ramsay'd the place, from what I hear.
What? Good job. Brittany Morris. Hello. We love when you're here.
Brittany, she's relieving some pressure and tension and stress in her life. Loving it.
Good. John V, 9th.
Number 9.
Well,
John
just your
V.
number.
District 9.
And under 10. Amanda Miller.
Hey, Amanda.
Volunteers tribute. And there I am in the background. This is Linky today. Tierra. Hey, guys. Yes, we did have technical difficulties, but we are back. Hello, Andrew and Joe.
Forgot to turn the microphone on.
Greetings, sober citizens. Hey, Big Hump.
What's up, Big Hump? Hanging out with you.
I enjoyed your song. That was his song earlier.
Yeah, he's the one that played that.
What was it? Midnight Train to Georgia. One of my faves. Tracy. Hey, Tracy.
That is true, Merc. Where is Bob? I haven't seen Bob for a long time.
Yeah, and Princess. I miss him.
Dang it, Princess. Does anybody
What
know
does
how
the
to reach
princess
out?
do with him? I don't know.
Does anybody know how to reach out to Bob? If so, let me know. I'd love to. Oh, you know what? I can reach out to him. I'll look for him.
Hey, Jerry. Thanks for the heads
A
up.
little late on that, bro.
I'm behind.
Or Felice is behind.
I started at the top. Hey, Marilyn. Glad you're here. And we have no sound, no sound. Lots of thumbs ups because now we have sound. Agreed.
Yep.
Earlina.
Hello, my. How you doing
fellow
tonight?
addicts.
Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for watching.
Mark. Hello.
Mark Sherman, what's up, brother?
Hashtag
Kyle?
share squad.
Yes. Don't forget, we have that
Hey,
share
Petey.
squad. And if you put it in the comments, hashtag share squad, we're writing it down. This Sunday, we're going to tally it up. And the top 5 sharers get bookmarks.
What up, Steve? What about Steve?
What's up, Steve?
I said hi to our Twitcher. We got Champ Burns.
Champ
What up,
Burns.
Champ?
Nice to meet you.
I like your name. And Francina. 3 days clean.
Yes.
Francina.
That's awesome. 3 days clean. Keep it up. Keep going. How can we
Francina.
support you? We are a group and a community that is here to help you through this. Anything we can do to help, reach out in our private group. If you're not in the Discord, jump in there. That is a great 24-hour support.
We'll put those links in a minute.
Stay sober. That's right, Linky.
Oh, Mary. What up?
Courtney Martin.
And Courtney, happy to be here. Glad you're here. Glad we could help you
Good
out.
to see
Glad
you.
you're here
Glad
today.
you're here.
Mama of Kenny, Melissa.
Hey, Melissa.
PD's times 6. I got you. Oh, no.
Dang, Petey.
I got you, PD. Boom. See that? That was fast.
Good job, Petey. Really proud of you.
Norman, my point.
Champ Burns, can I be your sponsor? You know what?
Next month.
I could. Let's talk. Shoot me a message. Let's chit chat. I'll give you my phone number's everywhere. Everybody should have my cell phone number by now. It's if you go to my private, not the private one, if you go to the Facebook page, Recovering Addict page, my phone number's right on there. Shoot me a text, Champ Burns, shoot me a message, shoot me an email, however you decide, and we'll get together and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, it's on the website too. Coveringaddict.org.
Recoveringaddict.org. My phone number is listed there as well.
They're my
Layla,
so
what's
cute
going on?
babies.
That is a cute picture.
I love babies. Hey, Sky.
Sky, what's going on? I was thinking if the pill didn't do anything for me, does it count? No, seriously, Sky, I know how you feel. Look at so the 18th, just 2-3 days ago, was my 1 year, would have been my 1 year clean date, right? But you notice it says white, orange, because at 47 days, I took 3 shots of whiskey and I did it foolproof, right? I'm going to do it and prove that I am the average temperate drinker. And I threw it in my drawer. We went and got a belly full of Mexican food. So obviously alcohol is not going to kick in like it normally does. I took 3 little shots of whiskey, didn't do anything for me, but it started my freaking date over. So I understand how you feel, Sky. Pissed. I'm pissed as well.
But you guys are clean today.
But we're clean. Who cares? Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
So I have
As
2
long as you're
dates. I look
clean.
at the date that I started getting better, and then my actual abstinence date is October something.
I call it, I decided this the other day, your recovery date
Recovery date
and your sobriety date.
and my sobriety date. Yep.
That's what I decided I was going to call them.
Yeah, that's why I'm very clear on how long you've been sober. I started getting better in August.
Yeah, that's when you started your recovery.
That's when I started my recovery.
And then you actually were like, I'm going to be sober. And it was like
Clean,
no turning
yeah.
back after that point.
Can I start us off with a good saying?
Yep.
Practice makes better because nothing is perfect.
Practice makes better because nothing's perfect.
True that. Gina! Why we got nuclear weapons? Nice to see you, music lover.
You
Leave
should
it to
name
Weaver.
the show Leave It to the Weaver. Bada boom. Sky.
You funny.
Joey, thank you, brother. Hit that like button. Thank you, guys.
Oh, look, I'm almost there.
Casey, that's my niece. Click on that and say hi.
Hey,
Hey, what's
we
up?
love you.
How
And
you doing?
Congratulations.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
expecting a baby
mama.
girl.
Waiting to have a baby. How you feeling? How's
So
it going over there in
exciting.
the Casey Johnson world?
And Adrian, the master sharer.
Whoa, yeah, no doubt.
We see you.
I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here.
Raylene, always a pleasure.
Raylene, how you
I
doing?
love it. He said thank you. Oh, probably
Wow.
don't want his number on there. Well, too late.
Hold on. I'm gonna text you right now there, Mr. Champ. Hold on. You keep talking, Felice.
Okay, you got his number.
No.
Teeter, sober since 3/11/20, and you killing it. You killing it. Might have substituted it with shopping, but that's much better. Tell Andrew I said so. Dwight, good evening. Always love seeing you in there, Dwight. And we.
Hey, Dwight, what's going on?
Oh, feeling good.
Feeling good. Miss you guys. We miss you too.
Billy is
Bill's
coming in hot. Oh, those last months, man. That's when I exploded with Pinky.
Yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet. When you get about 4 weeks out, 3 weeks out from your due date, have your husband or your boyfriend or whatever you want to call the guy. She called me the. Never mind. I won't say those names.
Baby daddy.
I'd get behind her and hold her belly up for her.
Oh, yeah, that was nice. It was just relief.
If Sunday is the 16th.
You can still do that if you want.
No, thanks. If Sunday is the 16th was 1 day for me. Why does sober counter say 4 days? Shouldn't it be 5?
Depends on how you count days. I do this at work all the time. Are you counting today as a day or not?
Oh, yeah. It's an analytic thing.
If
you ask
16,
Dez, it's actually
17,
6
18,
because
19,
he's already
20?
in tomorrow.
Or is it 16, 17, 18, 19, 20? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of.
However you want to count it.
I've been on this earth for 13 years, but I'm actually 12.
All right. You know what time it is. Let's get into our subject of the day, abstinence. What the heck does abstinence even mean? So I went on the Discord. If you guys are in the Discord, you know that we have multiple rooms in there, and one of the rooms is questions for the live. And today I asked the question, what does abstinence mean to you? And we had 4 people jump in and answer. JV, John, I'm not sure what you meant by yours and if it even had anything to do with our question of the day, so I'll let you decide if you want me to read it. Because I didn't understand you. But abstinence to Miss Creepy Cat, a.k.a. Naomi, b.k.a. Miss Creepy Crawlspace. Abstinence to me is an opportunity to truly recover and heal. The chance to be who I really am, not some demonized version of myself. Okay, I like that. Savage Trainer, a.k.a. Jake, he says, a complete cessation of all mind-altering substances. He says, for me, personally, I refuse to take medication of any kind. I prefer turmeric over ibuprofen, and that's in the family of ginger and helps relieve pain. He goes, but he goes hard. So he doesn't even want to start. He doesn't even get into, but that's his, okay? These are all their own opinions. We're not telling anything we do and say on here is a suggestion. Your recovery is yours. I know what I have to do for mine. And you need to be honest. Now, this isn't a suggestion. This is, I'm telling you. You need to be 100% honest with yourself and the people around you so that you can work your recovery for your best result. And that's kind of what we're getting at here today. Bookmark, he says, not doing illicit street drugs or unprescribed medication. Also, not abusing any prescribed medication and refraining from unsafe behavior, which is a very great description of abstinence. Mad, she says, completely avoiding and taking any drugs or alcohol, period. And I imagine she's on the no mind altering drugs, 0, zip, zilch, abstinence, 0, none, don't take any. So where did this big divide come in? When I got to this chapter, I instantly thought about Suboxone, and you guys know the dilemma and the contention and the harm it can cause when you talk about Suboxone in a dogmatic, if you're on Suboxone, you're not sober, get away from me kind of way, right? And so I wanted to approach the subject with how this abstinence from alcohol and AA, because a lot of people say, oh, you go to AA and they just shun you if you're on Suboxone or if you're on any type of maintenance assisted treatment. Abstinence is like hitting the giant. Oh, okay.
That's what he meant.
Oh, okay. Good. Thank you. So John V, he was the other one that commented in here. This is what he said. It's right there. Abstinence is like hitting the giant reset button. I was formerly too chicken beep to press, especially when the train was coming off the rails. Ah, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. That's very good. And so I wanted to see where did this come from? I've heard it a lot of times. Don't go to that place. Don't go here, because if you're on maintenance assisted treatment, you're going to get shunned. You have to realize what AA was created for. We're going back to the 50s and 60s, right? There was really no drug or alcohol treatments available. This is all brand new. AA was basically the first type of any assistance towards people who had a problem, because they didn't understand what the heck it was. You go on before that, and they were treating people with electric shock, people that were born with mental illnesses. They were just taking them and locking them up in hospitals. They didn't know anything about mental disorders, anxiety, bipolar, anything to do with that. And addiction is kind of wrapped into those things because it's an allergy that's affected in our body and in our mind, because alcohol and drugs treat us differently. And so if you read the doctor's opinion, he goes and talks about us having that allergy. And that doctor, when he was trying to get that job because the world was in recession at that point, right? So he's trying to get any job. He's in New York, gets a job at this hospital, and he's looking at all these people in there that are complete town drunks, the guys that are just shunned by the society, and they're relapsing all the time. And so these people they're dealing with are the worst of the worst cases of alcoholism. And here comes AA, right? So I'm going to go through a little brief history. I'm going to show this little 1-minute video just so you can see. We'll do a Chrome tab, share my audio. And then this guy kind of shares a little bit about what he says.
They saw really severe alcoholics whose lives had been deeply damaged. And, they concluded, correctly, I think, that this was a group of people who were never going to become moderate drinkers again. They really needed to stop. But that was only a slice of the world. And if you look more broadly, when you do surveys of populations, you see for every person like that, there are 2, 3, 4, 5 people who have a drink problem, and they need to do something about it. But they are not alcoholic, and they can become a moderate drinker. And funnily enough, one of the people who acknowledged that was Bill Wilson, co-founder of AA. It's in the big book. He says there are people who can return to drinking like a gent, is the expression he used. And he said, but that's just not us. That's not what AA is for, but if you can do that, then go ahead. And somewhere along the way, that got forgotten, so that people felt then to be a good AA member, you had to deny the existence of that population. That's not true.
And so that guy says that. And so there is the average temperate drinker. There are the people who can drink moderately. Oh, dang, I shouldn't have clicked out of there so fast because I loved one of the comments that was on there.
Ooh. And while he's looking for that, congrats, Tyrone. You're doing a great job on your recovery. He said 30 days off the hard drugs.
Nice, brother.
And next he's going to work on quitting alcohol.
Nice,
One
brother.
step at a time. You're doing a great job.
You're doing it. Doing the thing. I love it. Oh yeah. So the comments here, some guy named Bill Matthews said, hello, are you saying that AA now accepts people who are able to become and remain moderate drinkers or occasional drinkers, but would like support to do that? Are we considered dangerous to total abstiners? And the team answered back, no, AA is for those who feel they must abstain. AA is an abstinence only program. What Dr. Humphrey said is that the founders of AA recognize that there are indeed some fellow who could co-drink and learn how to drink again, like gentlemen. But those fellows were not for whom the AA program was established. So AA was established for people who have a freaking problem. And that's why chapter 3, I'm going to read it to you today. It says, most of us have been unwilling to admit we were real alcoholics. And now you can relate this to your drugs too. Meth, anything that you couldn't. And I love the way that M to the Rock said it the other day. It says, I'm no different than you. I got up, I used drugs, I used alcohol, abused drugs, abused alcohol, went to bed, woke up, said I'll never do it again, and ended up doing it again. Over and over and over again. This is the people that AA and NA were made for. So you can relate chapter 3 to that type of person. And if you're honest, are you that type of person? It says, most of us have been unwilling to admit that we were real alcoholics. No person likes to think he is bodily and mentally different from his fellow. Therefore, it is not surprising that our drinking careers have been characterized by countless vain attempts to prove we could drink like other people. The idea that somehow someday he will control and enjoy his drinking is the great obsession of every abnormal drinker. The persistence of this illusion is astonishing. Many pursue it into the gates of insanity and death. We learned that we had to fully concede to our innermost selves that we were alcoholics. This is the first step in recovery. The delusion is that we are like other people, or presently may be, has to be smashed. We alcoholics are men and women who have lost the ability to control our drinking. We know that no real alcoholic ever recovers control. All of us felt at times that we were regaining control, but such intervals, usually brief, were inevitably followed by still less control, which led in time to a pitfall, an incomprehensible demoralization. Me, been there, done that. We are convinced to a man that alcoholics of our type are in the grip of a progressive illness. Over any considerable period, we get worse, never better. We are like men who have lost their legs. They never grow new ones. Neither does there appear to be any kind of treatment which will make alcoholics of our kind like other men. We have tried every imaginable remedy. In some instances, there have been brief recovery followed always by a still worse relapse. Physicians who are familiar with alcoholism agree that there is no such thing as making a normal drinker out of an alcoholic. Science may one day accomplish this, but it has not done so yet. So this was their theory back then, dealing with these people. Marilyn corrected me. You're right. It was in the 30s that AA came about. So I mean, think about how long ago, before technology and all that kind of stuff, before we know what we know now. This whole addiction, mental illness awareness, peer support tech, all that stuff is new since the 90s. This is all new. If you're in here and you're in the chat and you're seeing this live video, you're seeing other recovery people on here talking about this is all new. We're breaking stigmas. That's why it was anonymous for a reason. Families were too embarrassed to come out and say, hey, yeah, alcoholics and addicts, I had dealt with that, or I lived with that. I've been hurt some way, shape, or form. It's always been swept under the rug, just like back in the day, the mental illnesses used to be swept. People would hide their children so that the state wouldn't take them away. And so AA was created for these types of people like me who cannot control it. Once we start drinking, we can't stop, right? We can't stop drinking. I don't know how many of you experienced, be honest out there, how many of you believe that you need to be abstinent from all mind changing, altering substances? Go ahead and flip through those comments.
Let me shout out to Anchored Hearts. Hey, Naomi. She's at 84 days sober today.
Yes, Naomi.
And we are shouting out May and Myrna and Doug Begay.
Oh, no, she lost her oldest son on June 8th.
I know a Doug Begay. The
Sorry.
Safandi newcomers.
Yeah, if you're new here today, drop your sobriety date and let us know just a bit about you. We'd love to
Hey.
get to know you.
You know Doug?
Yeah, I know Doug.
So does Naomi.
Oh, weird.
Dougie's missing part of his finger.
Thumb.
Yeah.
I know how he did it. I seen the airplane he did it on.
That's crazy. But
Wow.
I missed a share squad in there. I think we passed it real quick.
I agree 100% there, Joey. Stigma is identified as closed-minded.
Candace.
Yeah, and back in the day, it was going to ruin people's careers, right? Oh, no, they have a problem. And the funny thing is we learned this early in this addictive personality. What we do on this channel is we go through books, educational books. We learned early in this channel about the delusion of how we see things wrong. Oh, I can't go to AA or NA. My job will fire me, or people will think bad about me. But yet the night before, they went to the bar, got trashed, and fell out of in public, stumbled through the streets and puked. You know, you'll go and get wasted in public and fall down, but you won't admit and let public see you get help. That's the big bad thing about it. One big bad thing about it. So what do you think? Is anybody think that they're the temperate type, or do they see the necessity of remaining abstinence from all drugs or mind-altering drugs? And we'll get into the Suboxone issue here in a minute, because that's a part of recovery in getting you to the abstinent thing. right? Because I am for Matt. Maintenance assisted treatment. It has its place. Recovery is like I said at the end of the day, your recovery, Brian, 8/5/2019. Nice. That's mine, isn't it? No, I'm October.
Yeah, October. Yep.
One is too many, 1,000 isn't enough. Yep, Brian knows what I'm talking about. Jonathan 7320. Nice. Thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, I think it's something we need to remember, and just to keep us on track of who we are as far as if we go back out there, and then it'll keep us and help us remember some more solidified things in our mind to help the newcomer that doesn't understand quite yet. Because I didn't, obviously, at 47 days, or I wouldn't have drank 3 stinking shots of whiskey and started my sobriety date over. Sky love, you feel me?
But you understand now.
But I get it now. And so maintenance assisted treatment has its place. AA was created for people like me, the guy that has the allergy, the one who could not leave a beer sitting on the table. If I had a half a gallon of whiskey on the shelf and I started drinking it, I either drank till I passed out or I drank till it was gone. And if it was gone and I was still awake enough to have my bits about me, I would either drive myself to the store and get more, or talk somebody into getting me there, or have somebody bring me some. I wouldn't stop until I was passed out, and that was it. And then towards the end of my drinking career, I would wake up. Oh, I'm still kind of sober. Good. Back to wasted, you know. The Mayor's Daughter, 10/28/2011. Wow, that's a long one. That's very good.
Nice. Gina doesn't have one.
I don't have a sobriety date. My husband is an alcoholic. Just trying to learn as much. Well, Gina, let Felice tell you her story real quick.
Good place to be. So my story is I lived with LT for 3 years of his heavy drinking. He's my husband. But I actually had to go get counseling for myself first. And I realized all the wrong ways I was reacting to his addiction, and did all the research I could, just like you're doing. You're doing a great job about alcoholics and what addiction is, because at the beginning I was like, just quit. It's just that easy. But it's not. It's a lifelong process. So I got counseling first. And then I learned how to quit enabling him. I didn't even know I was doing it. I thought I was doing a good job till I learned what it was. And once I quit enabling him, he kind of just went.
It wasn't long after that.
Downhill real fast, and realized that there was an issue that I was unknowingly covering up.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it wasn't long after Fleece figured out enabling. I didn't know what enabling was. I was just like, yeah, I'm drunk. Let's do this. And then, yeah, shortly after whatever she did, because I was too drunk to even realize that she did it. It wasn't long after that, maybe a month or two. And I quit, and I checked, just said, I'm done. Had enough. Called my dad. Take me to the hospital. 4 days in the hospital.
Yeah. So you're in a good place.
Yeah, you're in a good place, Gina. If you have any questions, Fleece would love to help answer. And we talk about it all the time on here. So thank you, Joey. I appreciate that encouragement. That is our goal.
That's the goal.
What are you saying over here, Linky?
Party on.
All right, so that brings us to our book, Addictive Personality, Defining Abstinence in Recovery. This is what Craig Knacken's going to say. We go through books like this, and Addictive Personality is the one we're currently on. We are just about finished with this one. After this one, I have been telling everybody that we are going to go through this book right here. It'll Never Happen to Me. Growing up with addiction as youngsters, adolescents, adults. As youngsters, adolescents, adults. Claudia Black, PhD. So we're going to go through this book next, even though deep down inside, I want to go through the big book. I want to go through the first 164 pages. I wanted to just dig into it. I want to go through the history. I want to go through the history of Bill, the doctor's opinion dude. But we'll do that after we go through this book. So know that we're going to go through this book next. And if you do want this book, there's a link in the description of this video, either up there for YouTube, down there or up there for Facebook, down there for YouTube. Pick yourself one up and we can go together. And I hope you guys take notes on all this stuff, because sometimes I go off from what I learn in here, and I think it's valuable. Like last Tuesday, we went through a relapse prevention plan. And I want to stop and take this moment as a reminder, and then we will jump right into our book. Saturday's recovery is going to be about a relapse prevention. If you have not written your relapse prevention plan, start tonight and in the morning and bring it Saturday. I know we have regulars that come to our recovery on 3:00 on Saturday, 3:00 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Saturday. You can get the links on both Facebook pages and on Discord. Bring your relapse prevention plan. I'm going to bring mine, and we're going to go over relapse prevention plans. Write down your triggers, places you don't want to go. What's your support system look like? What's your plan going to be for your goals for the future? What are you going to do for things that may come up that you're not expecting? And we'll talk about those, and then just help each other out, think of some things we haven't thought of.
So for all of you whose husbands, because there's a few of you who are alcoholics, me and Matt's wife did our own little recovery addict episode, and we talked all about what it was like and what we learned. And I will find that and I'll post it in the comments so y'all can go back and watch it if you want.
Yeah, if you go to my YouTube channel, you go to the playlists and look at the real life recovery stories. It's in there.
And Joe E, text LT, his number's everywhere, and I'll talk to you, wife.
Yep. I'm with Gina. My husband's an alcoholic also. Thanks for what you guys do. You're welcome. I hope it helps. In a nutshell, I just want to sound like a couple people in here who are supporting their husbands. One thing that Felice learned, and I love the way she always puts it, and I will just tell that real quick about enabling. Enabling, this is the best description. So if I come home, I pass out drunk in the front yard, right? She comes out there, pulls my hand, stumbles me into bed, covers me up. I wake up, probably not going to remember I even passed out there. So I didn't experience any consequences at all. And that's enabling. Now, if I come home, pass out in the front yard, and she's like, well, there he goes again, and just shuts the door and leaves me out there to sleep, I wake up to sprinklers in my face, or a dog barking, or the sun beating down on me, right? I wake up hungover. Oh, what the heck? I'm outside. I walk in the house. There's my family, mom being mom, the kids doing their thing, and I come in just all stinky, stumbling and, hungover. Then I'm going to go, ooh, you feel that. That puts a crack in that personality of addiction so that you have a way so that they can see like, hey, this isn't right. And those types of things wear on you. And then eventually you'll see the change needs to be made. And that's what happened to me.
Yeah. And lots of non-emotionally charged honesty. That's real hard to do.
Yeah. Yes, Teeter, we do have an option of super chat. If you guys do want to support us, that goes to everything you see here. And I'm taking a portion of the super chats, like I said, and we're going to buy some pizzas and go down and feed some homeless people down the street. They're just right over there.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
All right. We're getting there. I promise. So recovery relies upon total abstinence from the abused object or event. Recovery, now we're talking about abstinence, okay? That's the whole topic of this show. Recovery relies upon total abstinence from the abused object or event. Object or event. It is easy to define total abstinence in addictions like gambling, drug, or alcohol abuse. And it may seem much harder to define in addictions such as food, sex, and spending, or work. So defining abstinence then consists of defining the addictive behaviors each individual uses in the process of acting out. Do you remember what we learned in the previous chapters, that our addiction, our relapse, our personality is in a battle with the addict, right? We got the addict telling us one thing. We got our conscience telling us another. The addict always wins. As soon as we dip in and let the addict take over, whatever you want to call him in your mind, mine's Ted, starts getting you to think about the drugs. And as soon as you start pursuing that, say if you're a gambler, this is an example out of the book. If you're a gambler and you start looking at the horse races, that is immediately when the addiction starts. That's a part of the relapse. That is part of using your trance. It's called the trance, right? That's when the chemicals start dropping. You start getting those rewards. Your heart's fluttering. Ooh, I'm going to find a winner this time. That's what acting out is, right? And then the gamble, then the loss, then the shame. Or the big win, and you feel like you're on a streak, and then you go do it again, the loss and the shame. And it has to do the same with drugs and alcohol. On me, it was, I'm never going to do this again. And on the way home, it was, oh man, I'm about to pass 12th Street. Don't just pass 12th. No, you can't. You have to have alcohol. If you don't, you're all of a sudden this fear would well up inside me, and spurt off to the liquor store. As soon as I hit the 12th Street exit on my way to the liquor store, the addict was in control and my acting out and trance began until I got the liquor, got home, went to the basement, took that first sip, and then I was full blown in my addiction and drinking until I was drunk, and then going to slobber into bed at midnight, 1 o'clock, trying to wake up 3-4 hours later, hungover, swearing I'll never do it again, and doing it over and over and over and over.
It's
and over.
crazy. We both got that anxiety, but for different reasons.
Opposites, huh?
Yeah.
So defining abstinence then consists of defining the addictive behaviors, okay, each individual uses in the process of acting out. So next, recovering addicts need to be totally honest with themselves and others when defining these behaviors. You got to define these behaviors. Just like I told you right there, on my way home from work, the drive home is when the battle started in my mind. I don't want to drink because I vaguely remember this morning being ashamed, but I don't really remember it, because by then that had worn off, that ashamed and guilt that I felt heavily that morning. And then the whole process of going to 12th Street and getting off that exit. And then as soon as I took that exit, the battle was lost. I had lost the battle. That's the behavior. And I just defined the behavior of my drinking cycle every day during the work week. And on the weekends, my cycle was, if I happened to wake up hungover out of bed before 11, was waiting and only waiting for the liquor store to open, pacing the house, doing nothing, knowing that the liquor store was 10 minutes away. And I always ended up there 10 minutes early, waiting until the door slid open. There's about 10 people in the parking lot right there with me doing what I was doing.
It was clockwork.
Clockwork.
Every time I knew it was 11 o'clock because it'd be gone.
So recovering addicts need to be totally honest with themselves and others when defining these behaviors. They will have to commit themselves to abstinence from these specific behaviors and rituals. See how he's not saying you have to be completely abstinent from the drugs and alcohol? He's talking about the behaviors right now. Some addicts relapse because they define abstinence too loosely. Listen to this. A sex addict, for example, may tell himself that he can't visit prostitutes, but it's okay to view X-rated movies. Pornography, right? Pornography, he will soon discover, can be just as addictive as visiting prostitutes. And then some addicts, however, make their definitions of abstinence too rigid, as if to punish themselves. I will never look at anyone as an object again. And when they set up such unrealistic expectations, they often fail to stay sober in their program of recovery. They get angry, rebellious, and the harsh restrictions, and then they fail. And everybody should know what time it is, since I'm getting reminded.
I feel like they know.
Already getting reminded. Here it comes.
Where's Kyle? You ready?
Ready, Kyle?
Hello, 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 my recovering addict family. I'm here with that motivational quote on recovering addicts. Tonight's special. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. Now, this is a riddle. Who is that by? Dr. Seuss.
Ooh la la.
And as always, you guys know what to do. Let's bring it together and continue to spread that love.
Dr. Seuss time.
Love Dr.
Any way you choose.
Seuss.
That's right. Any way you choose.
Good one. That was good. Good quote, Cassie.
Good one, Cassie. Thank
Love
you.
it.
All right. So when we're abstinence, it has to be realistic. We need to create a realistic abstinence contract. Saturday, we're writing relapse prevention plans. We're writing relapse prevention plans, and we're going to talk about them Saturday on a Zoom meeting, okay? One-on-one, face-to-face with each other. But when it comes to abstinence, you need to write yourself a contract. You need to start writing rules for yourself. And like the last episode, Tuesday night, write it down. Get a pen, get a paper, close out the world, and just take 10, 15 minutes to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of nobody else. Okay. If I don't take care of myself, there's no way that I'm going to be physically possible to take care of my family if disaster strikes. Okay. I won't be strong enough. If I don't take care of my mentality, I'm not going to be able to come home and be in the right frame of mind to be of any value to them. Right. So you got to take care of yourself first. So you need to create a realistic abstinence contract to recover from those addictions that we cannot be completely separated from. Planning such a contract should be done with a counselor, a sponsor, or someone who has been in the program for many years. A sponsor can help us decide exactly what substance or events lead to our addiction and what behaviors would now be seductive enough to derail our recovery. What behaviors would now be seductive enough to derail our recovery. With our sponsor's help, we can develop strategies to protect ourselves. Answer me in the comments real quick, because I'm going to give you a glimpse of something. What behavior is seductive in your life enough to derail your recovery? Think of one thing in your life that could derail your recovery. Just let me know in the comments.
I'd like to apologize to Kyle's wife for Cassie.
He's the one that's always making jokes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh boy. Joe says dishonesty. So Joe, if you start lying, that's going to derail your recovery, right? So in your relapse prevention plan that you're going to read to us on Saturday if you decide to join us, but if you don't, you have a relapse prevention plan, I highly urge you to read your relapse prevention plan to your wife and your support system around you, so your circle, your kids even, right? Hey, if you catch dad, hey, if you catch me, honey, lying about things, check me, because that's going to derail my recovery. And that's a part of the relapse prevention plan. That's a setup for it. John's is family toxicity. And so he's going to tell his family that's toxic, hey, if you're going to behave like that, I'm over here. This is part of my relapse prevention plan. I cannot be a part of the toxic side of it. Merc knows if he starts freaking out and getting in rages. So I imagine Merc probably always uses the HALT, right? Hungry, angry, lonely, and tired, because any one of those, hungry, if I'm hungry, I get angry. Lonely, not too much, but if I get tired, I'm angry, right? A lot of things lead to anger with me. And rage, I understand that too as well, Merc. And if he starts feeling that boiling up in himself, he's probably, am I hungry? Am I angry? Am I lonely? Am I tired? He's going to put a damper on that anger, because he knows that anger could cause problems. So he's going to write that in his relapse prevention plan. Something I need to be aware of, and something everybody around me needs to be aware of. If they start seeing me acting angry all the time, they need to pull me aside and say, hey, I think you're off the rocker right now, bud. Get back into recovery, because your anger is showing. Your anger is showing. Steve is boredom. I'm right there with you on that one, brother. Boredom is one of my biggest triggers. I loved alcohol just to have fun. And if I'm bored, alcohol is going to make anything fun, right? So boredom is going to get it. Stress, boredom, and sadness for teeter, same thing. Yeah. Yes. And that should be written in your relapse prevention plan. I'm not going to visit people that aren't clean. So you already have started writing some of this relapse prevention plan by putting this in the comments. Now take it to paper. And you guys write a relapse prevention plan. I'm going to urge this for the next 2 weeks or so. We may take this 2 weeks and just make the theme relapse prevention plan writing.
So Candy, your husband did point out that 800 of our subscribers are mostly because of Cassie.
We have this ongoing show. Right on.
So
at least she's back there poking him and laughing too. I was like, oh man. Oh, that's awesome.
And hi, big brother. I seen you.
Epi in the house.
He snuck his way in.
Go. Cool. Write a contract. Write a relapse prevention plan.
No more drama in your life. Pretty sure that's a song.
Do you know why?
Yep.
In the early stages of recovery, in recovery period, this is a dangerous time in recovery, because we become preoccupied with our addictive rituals. In thinking about what it is that excites the addict within us, and this is where we got to be careful writing these plans and writing these is fantasizing about these things and actually letting it take us into the addict frame of mind. So in thinking about what it is that excites the addict within us, we run the risk of re-entering the addictive process. So be careful here. And that's why you need to work out a contract, and you're doing this with your support system, with your sponsor. You can call me, you can get on Discord, you can ask your wife to help walk you through it, or your sponsors, right? You need to work out this contract with the sponsors whose experience can help us through the danger spots. So the alcoholic, for example, may have to decide that abstinence for her not only means not drinking, but also not going to bars, not traveling alone for extended periods of time, and not going to drinking parties. The compulsive eater may have to make a list of the exact foods he will eat each meal. So once we have defined an abstinence contract, we need to share this information with others. This abstinence contract is a relapse prevention plan in my mind. So once we have defined it, and like we went through Tuesday night, once you get this written down, you got to share it. You have to read it to your sponsor, read it to your whole support system. When I did mine, I sat in a group full of, 20 people. 20 people were there. Wife and the Felice and my kids were all there. And I had to read my relapse prevention plan to everybody. And then they picked it apart.
Mm-hmm.
We have chosen to help us stay abstinent. So you want to read and share this with the people that you've chosen to stay abstinent. When we talk about our contract with our support group, the contract becomes more clear and more real. So I read it out loud. It became more clear and more real. And guess what the people in the crowd did, or my group? They said, hey, what about this? Hey, you mentioned this one time 2 months ago in group. Did you want to maybe think about putting that in there? It's like, oh yeah, good idea. And you write a couple extra paragraphs because it makes it more real, more clear, and we'll help each other think of stuff that we may not have thought of. It's an accountability thing. How serious are you about your recovery, and how well do you want to succeed? That's a question. And honesty is the make it or break it. If you're not honest, break it. It's going to happen. Others can now help us be held accountable for our actions. During the first year, we need to reevaluate the contract regularly, adding any behaviors that may endanger our recovery. So within that first year, you're going to come across things that triggered you that you didn't think of. Whoa, better take note of that and avoid that if I have to. If at all possible, avoid it. And that's the stuff that we need to do.
True. Peter says, I've been happier, more relaxed and chill since I've quit drinking. Honestly, that kind of scares me. Like, where's my old grumpy man self gone?
Teeter, that's proof that you're working a program. And I know I've been talking to you the last few days. Well, since we met, we've been talking every day almost. But I can tell your attitude's always in the positive. And that is the thing about recovery, is a lot of people will quit drinking. A lot of people will quit using drugs. And they're worse than they were. They're still the grumpy old ornery self. And that's because they're not changing internally and mentally, right? They're not working a program. They're becoming the dry drunk. And a lot of people have said, hey, it was better when you were using, to some family members, because they're not working a program, which is, I'm shouting you out right now because Teeter, it's obvious you're working a program.
And good job having your boss get that soda for you. Proud of you.
Yeah, 100%.
Then there is a time when you find out your support group you shared that relapse prevention was not taking you serious, and you cut them out.
Yeah, sometimes that happens, man. We deal with people, and it's not easy. The world is full of them. You just be the best you, and I'll just be the best me.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Work, you're welcome. I'm glad you're here.
Wait for it.
What are we waiting for?
Mayor's daughter says, please work programs. Being a dry drunk is sheer misery.
100%. I know that Merck, and I doubt you'll be upset if I share this, but we were talking in a Zoom, one of the very first Zoom meetings I ever had with Merck, and it still stands out to me. I can still picture where he was standing when he said it. He was like, I was sober for 6 years and then decided to work recovery. He said he didn't even start working a recovery program, and it took like 6 years for him to get it. But he was sober. He was clean. And then now recovery. How much different do you feel now, Merck, than you did when you were actually not working the program? I think it's amazing. It's seared in my mind that you said that.
Yeah. I'm assuming since you started working this program, it's made you the awesome man you are today. You're
Yeah,
just
dude.
so helpful and loving and
Yeah,
willing to help other people.
it's awesome.
It's really awesome. You can tell. Jonathan said, alcohol has been a peculiar madness in my life.
Really? Me too.
Feel you there, bud. Merc, 6 years of misery. I feel alive and happy and at peace.
That's working a program right there. You get to a point where drugs and alcohol, the reason that we got into recovery was to get abstinent from drugs and alcohol. And then all of a sudden you realize, wow, this is making me a better person. Life is awesome. I'm living. I'm happy. And then you're like, oh yeah, wait, I was here to get sober. That's what it did for me anyway. I totally forgot. So online meeting is a lifeline, especially since I can't go to CR right now. Silly foot needs to heal. Well, good. I'm glad it is. Stinking feet. That sucks.
And I did read your comment. You are in our prayers for your
100%.
struggles. Always.
I'm going to jump out of the shadows and hand bounce stands.
Go, Merc, go.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, we're going to read Just for Today, the one that you read in NA when you go there every time. So if y'all have it memorized, say it with me. If not, say it with me. Tell yourself, just for today.
Just for today.
My thoughts will be on my recovery, living and enjoying life without the use of drugs. Just for today, I will have faith in someone in NA who believes in me and wants to help me in my recovery. Just for today, I will have a program. I will try to follow it to the best of my ability. Just for today, through NA, I will try to get better perspective on my life. Just for today, I will be unafraid. My thoughts will be on my new associations, people who are not using and who have found a new way of life. So long as I follow that way, I have nothing to fear.
Bump, bump. Mark, they love you.
He is, man.
You welcome. I got sober, then got in trouble because a person passed. Then I had to go to a program and anger management. The combo was eye-opening.
Good.
I'm glad it opened your eyes. I'm sure the rest of your family just loves it.
Way familiar path. Oh, man.
You know what opens my eyes? I love I seen that.
Can we see the cat?
Oh, yeah. It's at home. It's all like
You
top
wanna see the
shaved.
cat.
Millie shaved her down, huh, babe?
But just the top. So it's got fuzzy belly.
Ready? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Another thing, dear Lord, I'd love to pray for the suffering addict out there, for everybody to get sober and stay sober, dear Lord. In Jesus Christ's name I pray, amen.
Amen, buddy.
Amen. We probably don't want to. No. Nope. Okay.
Oh, no worries. Just know that when you're ready, we're here for you. No worries.
Uncle Ep says hi.
All right. We recover together by staying safe, staying sane, staying strong, and staying sober. You're worth it. Good night, family. I love you all. And that is absolutely right, John. Thank you for putting that in there. And
We
thank you
love
for being who you are.
We love all of you.
And what is today? Thursday?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Hold on.
The best person at being you is you.
Yep. You be you because everybody else is taken. Relapse prevention. Write it down. And Saturday, 3:00, come ready to discuss. I'll have mine. Please bring yours. It will make for a great Zoom meeting. Sunday night, what?
Go ahead. Kyle's got a question when you're done.
Oh, go ahead. I was going to shut her down.
He says, how did you shave a cat and still have a face?
Food. She fed the little guy. She tricked him.
She's crazy.
I got videos of her giving him a bath, and he's climbing the shower curtains.
She's crazy.
Well, I still got a video of it.
Cat whisperer.
Yeah,
They are
Millie's a cat
terrified
whisperer.
of her.
Okay, Sunday night we will be back. We're going to go through honesty and recovery. I want to hit on that some. And then we're going to go through guilt and shame and the responsibility and making amends in recovery. Sunday night is when this live stream will be back.
It says it's Friday. It's Thursday.
Today is Thursday.
Well, Desmond says it's Friday.
Hey, we'll be back Monday night for Australia. Or Monday morning, sorry.
Yeah, Sunday for the rest of you.
All right, y'all. Till Sunday, you guys. Do not put yourself in a high-risk situation. Stay strong, work your program, and remember, we recover better together.